Good morning. Please join us in singing the Chalice welcoming song. You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from, you are welcome here. You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from, you are welcome here. A house of hope and truth, it's a house of love. And you are welcome here, 'cause it's a house of love. A house of hope and dreams, it's a house of love. And you are welcome here. Y ahora en español. Bienvenido aquí, quiero que vayas tú, quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí, bienvenido aquí, quiero que vayas tú, quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí a este lugar de amor, de sueños, de ilusión, a este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí, sí, a este lugar de amor, de sueños, de ilusión, a este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí.
Good morning. Welcome to Chalice Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community of diverse beliefs and experiences, nurturing the liberal religious spirit and united by our desire to grow in love and in service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, and whatever your life's journey, you are welcome here. Whether you gather with us every Sunday, once or twice a year, or are joining us today for the first time, we're very glad that you're here. I am June Bailey, the worship associate today. Our service is led by our minister, Reverend Sharon Wylie. Our worship musician this morning is hiding behind the ofrenda. It's Tim McKnight. He's really here. And our song leader is David Peel with an assist from Sarah Shepard. Our sound and video engineer is Jake Diock. Our greeters are Donna Folberg and Ron Petzold. And our closer today is Victoria Cagle. Welcome to our Sunday worship service. Welcome to those of you here in the chapel and those of you watching us live via Zoom. We welcome children in our community and here in worship. Please talk with our Director of Family Ministries, Kathleen Swift, to learn more about programs for children. And childcare for our youngest congregants is always available during services. Today is our monthly all-church worship service, when we worship together in ritual and story, moving our bodies and celebrating the joys of our diverse community. Today, we remember our beloved dead and feel our place in an interdependent web that includes our ancestors, also knowing we are the ancestors for future generations. For those of us here in the chapel, if you're sitting in a row that's not full, please consider scooching towards the walls so that we leave room along the aisles, although you guys seem to have figured that out. Good job. For congregants who may be arriving in the next few minutes, and we don't want it to be hard to find a seat in the chapel. And as a reminder, please feel free to wear masks or step outside as needed for your comfort. You can also hear what's happening inside the chapel while you're outside on the courtyard. We're always happy to welcome newcomers. If you are new, you can learn about our groups and activities through our weekly email update and monthly newsletter. Online guests will receive an invitation to join the list after the service. And in-person guests, if you haven't already, please share an email with us before you leave. It's the best way to stay connected to what's happening here at Chalice. Now, let's take a breath together. We begin our service by lighting our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. The flaming chalice was first used during World War II by the Unitarian Service Committee as a symbol of life-saving refuge for people fleeing persecution in Europe. In honor of our multi-generational community, we invite anyone here with a birthday this month to come forward, as you are willing and able, so that we may sing a special happy birthday song with you. We know we have congregants with an October birthday, so if you're here, please feel to come up and join us so that we may sing.
Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, while light stays aglow, it's the love light in your eyes wherever you go.
Please join me in the hand motions of and words of our embodied affirmation. We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
The words of our call to worship are adapted from the Reverend Christina Shu. The ritual of welcoming and honoring ancestors is an ancient spiritual practice found in many cultures and traditions. Thus, we begin this time together paying tribute and expressing gratitude to our ancestors. From our histories, our ancestors call to us, asking whence we come and how and whither. We are grateful for their gifts, their lessons, and their challenge, calling us into accountability and responsibility to fulfill their hopes and aspirations for what they dreamed to be ours to do, We call on and invoke our parents, grandparents, aunties and uncles, our siblings from across time and place to be here with us. We call on the early Unitarians and Universalists, lay people and ordained ministers who brought our faith tradition to California and the Pacific Southwest. We call on ancestors of Chalice Congregation who built, grew, and dreamed this church and community into being. We call on those who represent peoples of the San Diego region and those who strove to build beloved community, representing diverse cultures and traditions, including the indigenous peoples of different tribes. We call upon our activist ancestors, those who struggled for justice, freedom, and liberation of all people, who challenge us to honor the fullness of each and every human being. We especially lift up those who battled the racism and oppression right here in Escondido, which is still alive today. They ask us to join the ongoing struggle to make this city whole. We call upon and honor the beauty of the earth, this particular part of creation that this church ministers in, the beauty of Lake Hodges, Bernardo Mountain, Elfin Forest, the San Diego River Valley, our interconnectedness to nature and to the history of the land itself. Now I ask you to call to mind your own particular ancestors, family roots, spiritual mentors and guides. Each one of us brings into the room our own network of people and places. We have welcomed them, this great cloud of witnesses, to join us for this morning. Can you feel them? May our ancestors guide us on our way. May they bless this space and time and the work we are about to do. Please, everyone join in saying, "Ancestors be with us. Ancestors be with us."
You're invited to rise and body your spirit as you're able and join us in singing hymn number 389, Gathered Here. This is a four-part, could be round, could be just as you want to do it. We're going to sing it together all through together once, and then we're going to split. I'll start, say, this half of the room. Sarah will lead that half of the room, and if you want to do one of the other parts that neither Sarah or I are doing, feel free.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the body, Spirit draws near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggles and the body, Spirit draws near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggles and the body, Spirit draws near. Spirit draw near.
Please be seated.
Whenever we gather together, there will be among us those who are joyful with happy news, as well as those who are grieving or in distress. Our challenge at any gathering is how to honor joy and sorrow together. At this time, we invite anyone with a joy or sorrow here in the chapel to come forward and light a candle at our altar. Parents, please assist your children who would like to light a candle. Our congregants online are welcome to share joys and sorrows with each other in the chat, and also to light your own candle of joy or sorrow at home. And Reverend Sharon will lead us in singing.
We haven't sung this one in a while. You're going to echo me. All this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain, such is life, such is being, such is spirit, such is love. All this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain, such is life, such is being, such is spirit, such is love. All this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain, such is life, such is being, such is spirit, such is love. All this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain, such is life, such is being, such is spirit, such is love. All this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain, such is life, such is being, such is spirit, such is love. All this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain, such is life, such is being, such is spirit, such is love. Once more, all this joy, all this sorrow, all this promise, all this pain, such is life, such is being, such is spirit, Such is love. The wheel of the year turns again. Summer is behind us now, and our cooler days mark the beginning of our coming rainy season. We hope it's a rainy season. The days grow shorter. As with many holidays, Christian and pagan traditions overlap this time of year, all of them honoring our ancestors, our beloved dead. In pagan tradition, this is the season of Samhain, the third and final harvest holiday of the wheel of the year. At this time of year, pagans honor our ancestors with ritual and feasting, asking for blessings and for guidance. In the Catholic tradition, All Saints' Day and the Feast of All Souls are November 1st and 2nd, both commemorating the faithful departed. The secular holiday of Halloween has evolved from these Christian and pagan traditions, which is why images of ghosts, witches, skeletons, and cemeteries feature so prominently. In Mexico, the Catholic holy days have become a unique cultural celebration, Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. This is one of Mexico's most important holidays, a time to remember and celebrate loved ones now gone. Families prepare favorite foods of the departed and picnic at their graves. They adorn the graves with marigolds, the traditional flower of the dead, and strew paths of petals to lead the spirits to the offerings. People dance, sing, and share memories of their loved ones, welcoming their spirits, who are thought to return briefly to take part in the celebration. We are grateful to our congregants, Rip and Tina Peña, who have led our community in creating a communal ofrenda, our ancestor altar. You were invited to bring photos of your beloved dead and perhaps to bring some of their favorite food or other mementos to add to the altar. If you didn't get around to doing that, we do have paper and pens on the ofrenda for you to write their names and leave them to be part of our altar. And we'll also leave the ofrenda up for another week, so we'll have it in the service next Sunday as well. Because of our ofrenda, it will feel like we are observing Dia de los Muertos today, but keep in mind that these holy days are still a week away, coming up on Saturday and Sunday. Our service this morning is in part to help educate and orient those of us who are less familiar with these traditions so we can participate respectfully. Coming up on Saturday, the California Center for the Arts here in Escondido has a free community event for Dia de los Muertos starting at 4 p.m. It's wonderful. You might want to attend. The celebration of Dia de los Muertos and the practices of Samhain serve two purposes. They are containers for the grief we carry when our loved ones are gone, and they are comforting in the reminders that our beloved dead are still with us in memory and in our hearts. Now, a song.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in times like these, and now I need you, and now I need you. And you are gone. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Since you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw it clearly in your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have few things that will console. And when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember that I was told. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I think on the things that made me feel so wonderful when I was young. I think on the things that made me laugh, made me dance, made me sing. I think on the things that made me grow into a being full of pride. Think on these things, for they are true. And I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice that whispers what I need to hear. I know a please, a thank you, and a smile will take me far. I know that I am you and you are me and we are one. I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been just again and again. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Shake a, 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 shake a.
I'd like to invite our younger congregants to come up front for the story in a moment, but to talk with me first. Come on, George. Help me out. I don't want to be lonely. So do you know what an ancestor is? Do you know what that word is? What is it? It's a test. If you're going to say yes, yeah. You can do it. What does it make you think of? Your family that lived before you and passed away. That's exactly right. I was trying to think this morning if we use the word ancestor for people who are alive. And you could, like your grandparents are going to be your ancestors, but we don't tend to use that word until people have died, because we would use the family words while they're alive, right? Your grandparents, not your ancestors, yeah, grandpa and grandma and other folks. And it doesn't have to be just your families. We're going to talk about in a little bit. Sometimes there's people you will learn about who really inspire you, poets or scientists, or, could be anybody that you think of as someone who influences who you are. And you could think of them as your ancestors too. So does that make sense to you, how we use that word? And this is a special time. We can remember our ancestors. I often call them our beloved dead, the people we love who are gone, anytime. But this is a special time of year when we all do it together. Yes. What was the question? Your parent will be your ancestor, but while they're living, you're going to call them your parent. But when they pass away, yeah, your parent will be your ancestor. Yeah. The older you get, the more you think about becoming an ancestor and being the person who's gone. And so that's one of the things we're going to hear in our teaching just now. The book talks about thinking about the fact that you're going to be an ancestor, that there are people who come after you. Yeah, it doesn't have to be scary. It's a long time from now. But we want to be responsible for how we care for each other and the earth, because there are more people coming after us. And so we want to think ahead and, take care of the world and each other. So we're responsible ancestors for the future. So we're going to hear that phrase in our story. So here's our story.
Our reflection is called Be a Good Ancestor by Leona Prince and Gabrielle Prince, illustrated by Carla Joseph. Leona Prince and Gabrielle Prince are both part of Lake Babine Nation. Carla Joseph is a Cree artist. Lake Babine Nation and the Cree are indigenous peoples from land now called Canada. Be a good ancestor with water. Raindrops become puddles. Puddles become streams. Streams become rivers. Rivers become life. Be a good ancestor with the land. Seeds become seedlings. Seedlings become trees. Trees become forests. Forests become oxygen. Be a good ancestor with living things that fly. Eggs become hatchlings. Hatchlings become fledglings. Fledglings become eagles. Eagles become iconic. Be a good ancestor with living things that swim. Eggs become olivins. Olivins become fry. Fry becomes sockeyes. Sockeyes become nourishment. Be a good ancestor with living things that walk. Newborns become cubs. Cubs become young bears. Young bears become grizzlies. Grizzlies become balance. Be a good ancestor with your neighbors. Neighbors become friends. Friends become communities. Communities become nations. Nations become allies. Be a good ancestor with your thoughts. Thoughts become ideas. Ideas become actions. Actions become movements. Movements become change. Be a good ancestor with your words. Words become expressions. Expressions become stories. Stories become narratives. Narratives become truth. Be a good ancestor with your feelings. Feelings become compassion. Compassion becomes understanding. Understanding becomes beliefs. Beliefs become values. Be a good ancestor with yourself. Children become adults. Adults become leaders. Leaders become elders. And elders become ancestors.
The wheel of the year turns to Samhain, the midpoint between the fall equinox and the winter solstice. Although Halloween is on Friday, the true cross-quarter day between equinox and solstice is over a week away. It would be appropriate for you to observe Samhain next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday evening, November 6th. This time of year, the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead is said to be thin. Now is the traditional time to remember and celebrate and honor those who have gone before us, those family and friends, teachers and guides who have meant so much to us. Who and how they were has shaped who and how we are. It is said that there are three kinds of ancestors. First, the blood family. These are connected to us by birth. Parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, stretching back through the generations. Even if their names or stories are lost, their presence flows in our veins. Yet, let us remember we are not bound to honor those who caused us harm or wished us ill. To honor our ancestors is to celebrate those whose love continues to bless and sustain our lives. Second, the family of milk and honey. These are the ones who have nurtured us by choice, not by blood. They may be friends, adopted family, neighbors, or relatives of relatives. Anyone who has offered care, guidance, and love, and in doing so became a part of our story. Third, the spirit family. These are the teachers, guides, and visionaries who have shaped us. They may have walked beside us, mentors, ministers, professors, co-workers, or they may have spoken to us across time, poets, prophets, activists, musicians, writers whose work continue to illuminate our path. They are the Unitarian Universalist and Unitarian Universalist leaders who have come before us, whose devotion has carried us to this day. William Ellery Channing, Olympia Brown, Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, Egbert Ethelred Brown, Norbert Chopek, and countless others whose spirits guide us still. Blood family, family of milk and honey, spirit family. All these and more are the ancestors we honor, celebrate, and most of all, remember this time of year. Take a breath with me. Now is the time for our remembering. Today we call our beloved dead a naming ritual. The power of naming, of knowing and expressing someone's name is ancient and stretches across faith traditions. You are invited in just a moment to share the names of whomever you carry with you, ancestors, friends, recent losses, ancient losses. Those here in the chapel are invited to speak into one of the two microphones, and those who are online may type your names in the chat box, and I will speak them out here in the chapel. Our beloved dead are not gone at all, but still with us, and we call their names. I call the name of our chalice member lost in the past year, Jim Brown. Mother Alice Wylie, Aunt Barbara Crombie, Uncle Charlie Wilson, Grandma Hannah Wilson, Grandma Frances Wylie.
My uncle, John Shepherd.
My parents, Jim and Pearl Key. My brother, Jim Key.
In addition to my family that has passed, I'd like to recognize my friend Lena Clark, who passed away 2.5 weeks ago.
In addition to my parents, I would also like to recognize Tim Warrenberg, Suzanne Crowder, and Tom Wells.
My father, William Lohala.
My grandparents, Fred and Louie Orcutt.
My grandmother, Mary Bushnell.
My husband, James Mullen. My father, Julius Schwartz. My mother, Virginia Schwartz. My brother, David Schwartz. My grandparents, Irma and William Schwartz, and Grandma and Grandpa Cummings.
My parents, Judith and Ernest Sala. My brother-in-law, Stephen Martin.
Grandpa Howard, Grandma Bernice, Aunt Ellie, Aunt Diana, friends, friend Andrew, friend Mark, dogs. Thank you.
My grandparents, Pews, and my grandparents, Jeffersons, and my mom and dad, Janet and Bill Pugh.
My sister Susan Anderson recently, and my mother and father.
My father, Edouard Mondesir.
Our father, George Homesteader.
My grandparents, Guadalupe and Celestino Griego, and my other grandparents, Pauline and Ron Bailey, and my stepfather, Ed Weaver.
Lene Björklund.
My parents, Jill and Eric Metzger, my brother, Daniel Metzger, and my cat, Goldie.
My wife, Robin, and my nephew, Scott.
My father, George, my mother, Billy, my brother-in-law, Bernie, my cat, Shenanigan.
My sister, Nancy, who died at the age of 3.
My husband, Ray Florendo, my father and mother, Rose and Walt Lakowitz, my brother, David Lakowitz, and my friend, Michelle Nelson.
My parents, Clark and Bee Aist, and the recent death of my Uncle George Aist.
My late wife, Janice Waugh, and my parents, Leon and Pierrette Gadet.
My parents, Paul and Lola Plaster, and my brothers, Gary and Roger Plaster, and our daughters, Rachel and Rebecca Chu.
My husband, Melvin Matthew Hill, my mother, Amelia Mary Glantz, my father, Joseph Glantz, and a dog named Terry.
My husband, Rob Molick, my parents, Francis and Helen Lawrence, and my in-law parents, Lillian and Rudy Molick.
Daddy, Ted Davis. Uncle Joe, his partner Bernice, and Gary Cagle.
My parents, Bob and Maureen McDonald, my brothers, Pat and Michael McDonald, my grandparents and great-grandparents and aunts and uncles, too many to mention, and my very beloved, best old friend, Mary Duggan, plus my dog, Bodhisattva, and the cat, Spyro.
Amber names father Royce Vlasnik, grandparents Elaine and Leonard Bowden, grandmother Mabel Vlasnik. Tammy and Jeff name grandparents Tom and Mary Jo Hayes, Ruth Noble, Uncle Jim Stokes. Callie names parents Anne Harriet Hutchinson Dusty and George Leon Dusty, close friend Mary Reynolds, and mother-in-law Florence Leaf. Jean names her sister Carol Meadowcroft. Tammy names parents Sam and Pat Cooper, Uncle John Cooper, Uncle Joe Copley, cousin Byron Copley, sisters Debbie and Cindy, friends and mentors John Weeks and Dan Bach. Gracie names grandson Zion Woods, lifelong friend Jenny Young, and daughter Sarah Wyckoff. Patty names parents Anne and Frank, friends Alice, Richard, and Patrick, and beloved dog Gimlet. Paula names Lisa Hotellin, mother of Jamie. And I'll name for Peter, Father Peter Armstrong, Aunt Lydia, Grandma Rose, and Grandpa Gilbert. It's okay to be sad. We are blessed by the names we have spoken and shared this morning. You are invited to bring photos, food, and mementos this morning that were special to your loved ones for the ofrenda. If you haven't done that yet, you can do so after the service. If you have those, again, there's also paper there if you want to write someone's name to leave on the ofrenda. And after the service, you are welcome and encouraged to talk with each other, share stories of your loved ones, your favorite memories of them, their favorite foods. Grief can weigh heavy on us. This morning, may our grief be lessened, and may we find joy and comfort in sharing and remembering together.
Please rise and body your spirit as you're able and join us in singing hymn number 1003, Where Do We Come From? This is another one of those four-part kind of rounds, and we're going to do it exactly the same way. We'll sing it through all together, and then I'll lead this side, and then that side can follow Sarah, or you can do one of the other two parts as you feel free. Ta-da. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going?
Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going?
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from?
Life is a
Where are
riddle
we
and a mystery.
going? Where do we come from?
Life is a
Where
riddle
are
and
we
a mystery.
going?
Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Please be seated.
The Sunday offering is an expression of the generosity that makes our congregational life possible. Poet Maya Angelou states, "I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver." We encourage you to text your donation to Chalice. If you haven't texted a donation before, once you text the amount, you'll get a reply with a link to enter your card information. If your Sunday donation is meant to be a part of your pledge payment, please be sure to indicate pledge after the dollar amount. The phone number for text donations will be on the screen in a moment. If you prefer to make an in-person donation of cash or check, there are envelopes and a donation box to the left outside of the chapel double doors today, and you can leave those donations after the service. Please give generously. Please join in dedicating our offering with words of affirmation. We give to the work of Chalice Congregation. Our work weaves the fabric of love called community. To this end, we dedicate ourselves and this our offering.
This is our 14th Beloved Dead service annually. And most of the time, we sing one of two hymns this day. We've sung neither of them this morning. One is called Breaths. They're both in our teal hymnal. One is called Breaths. Listen more often to things than to beings. And the other one is called We Are. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. And they're both by Unitarian Universalist composer E.Z. Barnwell. And so when Tim and I were talking about this service, and they're both about ancestors, the people who have come before us. And Tim wondered if we could find an interview with her where she talked about, what brought her to write these songs. And so in searching around YouTube, we found another song that we heard earlier, Wanting Memories, that isn't in our hymnal, but is still one of her pieces. And so we wanted to bring that to the service today. And in just a moment, we have a clip of an interview with her where she talks about her ancestors, and we see some photos and hear her reflections. But I also just wanted to share with you a little bit more about her, since I was reading about her, and she's not an ancestor yet. She's alive and well. But I didn't know until I just read recently that she didn't sing or think of herself as a singer until she came to a Unitarian Universalist church and joined the choir, which seems incredible. If you know her at all, we have a couple of other hymns by her. She's arranged the version of Wo Ya Ya that we sing from our hymnal, but most famously, she's been part of the a cappella group Sweet Honey in the Rock, which is a group that's been nominated for Grammys. And so I'm so proud that she's ours. I've taken a singing workshop from her, and many UUs have. She loves to teach singing without sheet music. So one of the things that happened after she joined the choir, you'll hear in a minute, her father was a violinist, and she knew how to play the violin. But she noticed how often the choir is dependent on being able to read and use sheet music. And so then she started another choral group in the congregation called Jubilee Singers and taught them to sing spirituals and gospel without using sheet music. So that's the workshop she teaches, don't use any sheet music. And she's a strong believer in communal singing, no matter our capabilities. And so there's a great UU World article interview with her you can find online from 2016. But at one point she said someone asked her something about non-singers, and she said, "I don't know what you're talking about." We are all singers to her. So please enjoy spending a minute or two with her.
Dum 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 dum. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world.
This is my grandmother, Hallie Ellis Robinson.
You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms.
This is my father, and for over 60 years he taught violin. But back in the 30s and 40s he had a string trio. This is me when I was 4, studying the violin. I started studying at 2.5. My father's instrument was violin, so that was the instrument that I wound up playing. But I love the bass. When we
went to church, my mother sang in the choir, but my father and I would sit together, and he always sang the bass line. So I always heard the bass lines on the hymns, and I would imitate him sometimes. So.
Then I remember all the things that I was told.
I'm an only child, and I did not know that my parents had kept these things for me until after they died. Literally thousands of photos, some of them going back into the 1800s.
I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the boy.
Every time I look at these photos, I am learning something about our culture.
I know Ebenezer, thank you.
Through the music that I'm writing, through the music that we perform in Sweet Honey in the Rock, I think is a piece of that, trying to contribute to who we are.
I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been there.
In 1990, I wrote Wanting Memories and dedicated it to my father. Then when my mother died and I found all of these things, I realized that in fact they had left me the very memories that I was asking for in that song, and didn't realize that that was my story.
The air. Feel the joy of the breath in your lungs and the fire in your heart. Live to love and be a blessing on this earth. Love and blessings to each of you. You are invited to close our time together by singing the well, and after our closing hymn, please return to your seats for some announcements.
Drink from the well together of the water that quenches my thirst, a thirst for justice, a thirst for joy, a thirst for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. We drink from the well together. Hand in hand we are standing as one, standing for justice, standing for joy, stand for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. Open the doors to the world outside, spirits renewed from within. Look for the dream in each other's eyes, the spark where a new world begins. Yes, we drink from the well together. Heart to heart we are dancing as one, dancing for justice, dancing for joy, dance for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well, spirits renewed. We drink from the well, stand hand in hand. We drink from the well, dancing for joy. I feel my heart so loud. We drink from the
Our social hour will begin in a few minutes, online at the same Zoom link and in person on our courtyard. Those of us here in person may want to bring your refreshments into the green room and have a visit with our online congregants. And Reverend Sharon and I will greet you at the doors after the service, after some announcements, and to hear how the service was meaningful to you. All right, doing an announcement. I have one first. So the social justice team meeting scheduled for today has been canceled. The next regular meeting will be on Sunday, November 23rd at noon in the Rainbow Room.
As I mentioned during this service, we're going to keep our ofrenda up for another week. We're also going to have a part of the service next week to honor deceased pets. So if you have a photo you would like to contribute, we'll do a little video. You can send it to me along with your pet's name, and I'll put that together. So I'll send out an email about that this afternoon, and you can just reply to that email.